Hey, in this episode, I'm going to be talking about why, as a farmer, I have fencing. Stay tuned. Hello, welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. As a homeowner or even a farmer that owns some acreage, sometimes fencing is necessary for your homestead or your farm. I had an interesting question and a very valid question from a viewer recently that I hope I answered it conclusively enough, but I'm going to go ahead and create this episode to give you guys more of an overview reason on why I chose to have fencing, and also share with you guys the protective value that fencing has for livestock here on the homestead. When I purchased Pine Meadows Hobby Farm, the first thing I did was put up the perimeter fencing. I had enough fencing that I had purchased and put in place down at Acorn Acres when we were living down there, and I was caretaker, but all the fencing was my property. So I was able to remove all that and bring it down here and put it up here. I purchased some additional gates, some additional fence posts, and so we were able to completely fence in the perimeter of the property. Fencing is essential, especially when you have livestock, and especially when you live near other people who have livestock, because you don't want your livestock getting intermingled, and also you don't want the neighbor's dogs coming into your area and getting your livestock. We had that problem. One of our first problems was a neighbor's dog breaks through a gap in the fence and came over and killed a chicken. Came back and went after a duck, and my wife caught it and chased it off. So I went and had words with the neighbor. We were all congenial about it, and the dog has not been here since killing livestock. Now, I did find out where the breach in the fence was, and I quickly corrected that. We have a main gate up on the front of the driveway, and that's to keep not only our livestock in, but also to keep the predators out. Yes, your neighbor's dog can be and is a predator. By their own nature, they're a predatory animal on things that, well, they were inbred to be able to chase and eat. Unfortunately, living in the wilderness, we still do have nearby neighbors, a few, but we do live in the wilderness, and we are subjected to apex predators. Now, as you can see behind me, there's nothing but wildlands. I mean, there's just non-developed land. For a couple miles that way, there is nothing but wilderness. We do have cougar. We do have bobcat. We do have bear. We do have coyote. We do have wolf. Yes, we even have wolf. We have the smaller predators, which are the skunks that go after the eggs and the chicks. And we also have raccoon. Now, I've lost livestock to coyote. Yep, we had unfortunately, with the fence in place, we had a storm. It blew down a tree over the top of the fence line, the perimeter fence. Well, those crafty coyotes found their way in through that, and they came in and they terrorized my animals on a Halloween night a couple of years ago. They scared my goat so bad she jumped over the middle barrier inside the barn and broke her leg. I ended up having to set her leg. It worked out well. Now she's producing babies for me. But they got into the turkey pen and they stole my only two Narragansett turkeys I had. I originally had a Tom and a Jenny. And they disappeared Halloween night. I was so mad, and even madder with the goat's leg being broken. So I've lost chicken to raccoon. We even have fox here. I don't know that I've lost any livestock to fox because I now keep my chicken coop door closed at nights. And then also within the farm and within the perimeters of the fencing, we have cross fencing like you see right here. And the cross fencing is fortified with an electric fence in addition to keep my animals in and the predators out. Especially, I have honeybees also. And the bear especially like to come in and get it's not so much the honey that they're after and the honeybees, it is the grub, the baby bees is what they're after, because that's where the protein is and that's what they're after. So the electric wire keeps the bear away. So these are the defensives that I have around my homestead and the necessary defenses I have around my homestead. Now I have an order for fencing in today. I have to go down and pick up. We're completing the chicken yard today, and it's a special poultry fence that I've ordered to keep the chickens not only confined to their chicken yard, but also keep predators out and away from the chickens, because we're going to start having chicks run around with the hens. I'm allowing them to incubate their own eggs once they become broody. I do have some eggs in the incubator. We've got turkey eggs, duck eggs, goose eggs, and chicken eggs, and we'll be incubating those and selling those to gain a profit or proceeds to pay for the feed to offset the overhead cost of having a farm. That's what you do. But getting back to the fence, a lot of hard work went into the fencing. I had put some additional resources into the fencing material. Now that we're done with the fencing, we just have to maintain the fence line and then also make sure that all the breaches are taken care of and that those apex predators stay out, and we don't have the same problem that we had that Halloween night a couple of years ago. That was devastating to me. And you can lose a lot. You can only do so much keeping deer out because they'll jump over the fence. But specifically around my garden, I have a deer fence, and with one deer in particular, he jumped right over that fence. And I tell you what, yeah, I'm ready for him this year. He won't be jumping anymore, let's put it that way. He's going to freezer camp. Now, all my cross fencing that I have to segregate my pastures, they're just a 5-wire electric fence that I have just to keep the goats out so I can be able to rotate my pastures and allow the grass to grow back, and then I can rotate the goats. So they'll always have something fresh to graze on. But as far as the perimeter fence and my main cross fencing, those are field fencing that are safe for the animals, safe for the livestock, and also suitable enough to keep predators out and keep my livestock in. Well, I hope I was able to answer your questions of why it's necessary to have fencing for a farm if you're going to have livestock. It's the logical thing to do, and it's the humane thing to do to protect your livestock, because eventually your livestock is your food, it's your groceries, and you want to be able to take care and protect that and keep those apex predators out and keep the other smaller predators out and away from your livestock, so you can be able to be a farm and be productive and be successful. fencing is essential no matter where you live. It also makes good neighbors. It does, because it keeps their dog's behavior at bay. That way you won't have to go another step, because some dogs, we've had problems with one neighbor that had a huge pack of dogs, and yes, those dogs had pack mentality. They would terrorize the livestock throughout the little valley. And the rules for our county and our state, if a dog, domestic or otherwise, is chasing livestock and harming livestock, shoot to kill. So it's best just to have fences to keep those kind of creatures out and protect your livestock. It's the right thing to do. I'm Jerry Hansen, your host. This is Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. We're a frugal homestead tucked high in the Cascade Ranges of the Pacific Northwest, geographically located west-southwest of Crater Lake National Park. Please stay tuned to more videos. You can do that by subscribing, then clicking that bell icon. That alerts you to new videos as I do upload them. Also, if you give us a thumbs up like the channel, it helps the algorithm with YouTube recognizing it and promoting the show. Please leave a comment, question, or a tip. I do enjoy reading your tips, and please always remember, be safe and always be kind. We'll see you guys in the next episode, all right? Bye-bye.